I always thought death was the end, a final heartbeat, a quiet fade into nothing. But I was wrong. The moment my heart stopped, something else began. In those 3 seconds after I died, I saw what no living person was ever meant to see. And it wasn't darkness waiting for me. It was light alive, conscious, reaching out. Not an angel, not a god, something else. Something that has been watching us from the beginning. And when it touched me, everything I believed about life, death, and what comes after changed forever. When the light touched me, my world collapsed into silence. The walls of the morgue dissolved. The cold metal table, the smell of antiseptic, even the weight of my own body gone. I wasn't floating. I wasn't falling. I was simply there, suspended in a vast, shifting field of light and shadow. The being stood before me, taller than any human, its form luminous, flowing like liquid glass. Its face had no clear feature, yet I could feel it watching me, studying me, as if seeing every thought I'd ever had. Then, without words, a voice entered my mind. It wasn't a sound, it was understanding. You are between moments, it said, between your last breath and what comes next. I tried to speak, but no words came out. My thoughts were the only language now. Am I dead? I asked. The light around the being pulsed gently, almost like breathing. Your body has ceased, but you, the one who observes, remains. I felt no heartbeat, no lungs, yet somehow I still was. The being extended its hand, if you could call it a hand, and light began to ripple through the space around us. The morgue returned, but different. My body lay motionless beneath a white sheet, still and pale. Around it, faint currents of light swirled like invisible wind. 3 seconds, the voice said. That is how long it takes for consciousness to separate from form. I watched as the lights around my body shifted, small flickers of energy detaching from my skin, like dust floating in sunlight. What is that? I asked. Memory, it said. The residue of thought. What your kind calls the soul. It stepped closer, and the space rippled again. Suddenly, I wasn't in the morgue anymore. I was everywhere. Fragments of my life surrounded me, my childhood room, my first heartbreak, my mother's laughter, every decision I had ever made, unfolding in perfect clarity. You relive it all, the being said. Every action, every emotion, not as memory, but as vibration. You feel what you gave and what you took. I tried to look away, but there was no away. I could feel the pain I'd caused others, the moments of kindness I'd forgotten, the choices that had built the life I'd just lost. Why are you showing me this? I asked. To understand the weight of existence, it replied. To know that nothing is ever truly gone. Energy does not die. It only changes direction. The scenes began to fade, replaced by something else, darkness, stretching endlessly, alive and vast. What is that? I whispered. The being looked toward it, the glow around its body dimming slightly. That is where you go when you do not remember what you are. The darkness pulsed, deep and slow, like a living ocean. Within it, I could feel countless presences lost, echoing, confused. The ones who feared death, the being said. They created their own shadow. I wanted to ask more, but before I could, the light around me began to change again. The being placed its hand against my chest, and a pulse of energy surged through me. For the first time, I felt something like breath again. You're not finished, it said. You still have questions, and you still have a choice. The light around us shifted into something indescribable, a horizon made of colors that didn't exist on Earth, a vast expanse of flowing patterns, alive and intelligent. 3 seconds, it repeated. But beyond those seconds lies eternity. I will show you what your kind calls heaven, and why it isn't where you think. And as it spoke, the universe began to open. The universe unfolded like a living tapestry. I wasn't moving through space anymore. Space was moving through me. Galaxies spiraled like thoughts, waves of light, bending into impossible shapes. I saw patterns, connections, every heartbeat of creation linked to something greater. The being stood beside me, though it no longer seemed separate. It was as if its presence flowed through everything, the star, the light, even my own awareness. This is what lies beyond the boundary, it said. Not heaven, not hell, the continuum of consciousness. The words vibrated through me, reshaping what I understood about existence. Each vibration carried meaning beyond language. I saw layers, infinite strata of reality. Some shone with blinding brilliance, others pulsed with shadows so deep they seemed to consume light itself. Souls, if that's what they were, drifted between them like sparks carried by wind. Each frequency, the being continued, is a reflection of what you became while alive. You are drawn to the resonance that matches your inner truth. I watched as forms of light gathered into community, clusters of shared energy. Some vibrated with harmony, luminous and serene. Others twisted, fragmented, caught in their own echoes of fear, unable to ascend. Is this what happens after death? I asked. This is what happens always, it replied. Death does not begin a new existence. It reveals the one you have always been creating. The realization hit me harder than any physical pain ever could. Every thought, every emotion, every intention I'd carried, they were still here, alive, shaping this place. You mean heaven and hell aren't places? They are frequencies, it said, self-made reflections. No one judges you. No one saves you. You gravitate to what you have built within. I turned to look at the lower realm, vast zones of turmoil, swirling with gray light. I could feel the emotions radiating from them. Regret, anger, despair, but also something else, yearning. Every being there was searching for a way upward. Can they leave? I asked. Some do, when they remember what they truly are. The being lifted its hand and the vision shifted. I saw one spark rise from the shadows, faint at first, then brighter, drawn toward a higher layer of light. The darkness didn't pull it back. It simply released it, as if relieved. I realized then that even darkness had purpose. It was not punishment. It was contrast, a reminder of choice. The being looked at me again. Your kind fears death because you think it ends meaning. But meaning is what survives. Death only strips away illusion. The space around us began to shimmer, and I felt something new, warmth. It wasn't physical. It was recognition. From the endless light, forms began to emerge. People, faces I knew. My grandmother, smiling like she had when I was a child. Friends I'd lost, standing together, whole, radiant. They didn't speak, yet I understood everything in a single instant. They were real. Not memories, continuations. They remember you, the being said. Because memory and energy are the same. To remember is to keep something alive. I felt an overwhelming surge of emotion. Love, connection, everything. I never missed. It was still here, waiting. But then something changed. The light flickered. The warmth receded. In its place, a cold wind began to move through the expanse. The being turned toward the distance, its glow dimming. You must see the other side, it said. What side? The consequence of forgetting. Before I could answer, the universe shattered. The light tore open like fabric, ripped by unseen hand. I fell through it, through silence, through vibration, through uncountable layers of existence, until I landed in a place that felt painfully familiar. A city, my city. But it wasn't alive. Buildings were half collapsed, streets cracked, the sky a dull gray pulse of static. People wandered without purpose, eyes hollow, unaware of one another. What is this? I asked. The being stood beside me again, though its form flickered now, unstable. This is what your kind creates when you forget the connection between thought and reality, it said. A shadow of your world, a reflection of collective fear. I looked around. It wasn't hell. It was emptiness, a world stripped of empathy. These are souls who refuse to wake, the being continued. They recreate the world they knew, repeating its errors endlessly. I walked among them, calling out, but no one looked up. Each face was lost in some private memory, endlessly replaying it. Can they be freed? I whispered. Yes, but not by us, only by you. The being touched my chest again, and I felt a pulse of light radiate outward, cutting through the gray. For a moment a few faces turned, eyes glimmering faintly. Awareness. They heard you, it said. Even the smallest vibration of truth ripples across eternity. The ground trembled. The gray sky fractured, revealing light above, the higher layers I had seen before. I felt myself being drawn upward again, toward warmth, toward meaning. Why are you showing me this? I asked. Because you asked what happens after death, it replied. Now you must learn why it happened. And as it spoke, I realized the truth. Death wasn't a doorway. It was a mirror. What you see beyond it is yourself, magnified by eternity. The mirror stretched endlessly before me, infinite reflections folding into one another, each version of me living, dying, remembering, forgetting. Every choice I had ever made branched into its own existence, weaving an endless web of realities. I understood then that I hadn't simply died. I had crossed into the structure that holds everything, consciousness itself. The being stood beside me, its light steadier now, though softer, almost human. This is the source, it said, the origin of all awareness. Everything that existed here first, as thought. The reflections rippled outward like a living ocean, and in each one I saw creation unfolding, stars igniting, worlds forming, life awakening from stillness. I asked, "Are you a god?" Its gaze never wavered. There is no God as you imagine, only memory, only awareness choosing to experience itself in infinite form. We are fragments of that awareness. So are you? Its words sank deep into me, reshaping every belief I'd ever clung to. So everything, every person, every creature is part of the same consciousness? Yes, it said, but most forget the body is a mask. You wear it to explore separation, to learn the value of reunion. Death is the moment you remember who you were beneath the mask. The reflections shifted again. I saw humanity from above, billions of lights flickering like neurons in a vast cosmic brain. Each light connected to the others by invisible threads. Thoughts, love, grief, anger, all of it energy, all of it feeding into the same vast field. Your species has always sensed, the being said. You call it spirit, soul, God, or fate. You give it names because your minds cannot hold its true form, but you are living within it every moment as it learns itself through you. I felt tears or something like them form in the place where my face used to be. Then why do we suffer? Why so much pain, so much loss? The being looked toward the reflection, and then I saw wars, cruelty, betrayal, humanity at its worst. Suffering, it said, is resistance to truth, the pain of forgetting what you are. But it is also the spark that drives remembrance. Even darkness seeks the light that created it. The universe trembled. Light cascaded from the reflections like water breaking through a dam. I could feel its pull, powerful, magnetic, endless. Where does this lead? I asked. To the beginning, it replied. The world around us shifted. Time reversed. Stars collapsed back into singularities. Light folded into darkness. I was falling through creation's memory, backward, deeper, faster, until there was nothing left but stillness. Then a single sound emerged, not a noise, but a vibration, pure, resonant, eternal. "This," the being said, "is the first sound, the breath that began the universe. Everything that exists was born from this frequency. It is the thought of awareness, awakening to itself." The sound grew, and with it came light, pure, golden light that expanded in every direction. Galaxies unfurled like petals, energy condensed into matter, matter into form, form into life, and through it all, I saw something unbelievable. The being beside me, the alien I thought had shown me the afterlife, was part of the sound itself. Its form dissolved into the light, revealing patterns that matched the same vibration running through me. "You are not separate from me," it said. "You never were. You asked to know what happens after death, but there is no after. There is only continuation, transformation." I felt the boundaries of my being stretch outward, merging with the vastness around me. I wasn't a person anymore. I was awareness, endless, expansive, connected to everything. Every voice, every thought, every heartbeat. Then, from the light, another voice spoke, not the aliens, but something larger, older, everywhere. "You have seen what few are ready to remember," it said. "You have touched the pattern of eternity, but you cannot stay." The light began to recede, pulling me back. "Wait," I said. "I don't want to forget." "You will not," the voice replied. "You will carry the echo, enough to awaken others when they are ready. That is why you were shown." The being reappeared, its form radiant again. "You have 3 seconds left," it said. "What do you mean?" 3 seconds before your body breathes again. And with that, everything collapsed into white. When the white faded, I felt weight again. Cold air filled my lungs like fire. My eyes snapped open, and the first thing I saw was the ceiling of the morgue, flat, fluorescent, and unreal. My chest ached as if something enormous had been forced back into it. I gasped, coughing, the sound echoing through the empty room. The world was slow, heavy, too solid. The hum of the refrigerator units, the buzz of the overhead light, the metallic scent of disinfectant. Everything I'd left behind had returned, but it didn't feel the same. It didn't feel real. I sat up, my body trembling. My skin was cold, almost blue. The sheet slipped off me, and I stared at my hand, alive, shaking, covered in faint veins of light that faded as I watched. The doctor wasn't there. The room was still. The clock on the wall ticked exactly 3 seconds forward. 3 seconds. I slid off the table, my legs barely holding me. Every sound in the world seemed amplified. The hum of electricity, the distant footsteps of someone down the hall, even the rhythm of my own heartbeat echoing like thunder in my skull. Then I saw it. On the stainless steel table beside mine, a single handprint, glowing faintly, too large to be human. The same luminous pattern I'd seen in that space between worlds. For a moment the air shimmered, and I felt it again, that pulse, that vibration that wasn't sound but awareness. "You will remember," a voice whispered, faint and distant. "You will tell them." I stumbled to the mirror on the far wall. My reflection stared back, pale, wide-eyed, alive. But behind me, for just an instant, the light stood again. The being, watching, silent, and then it was gone. I left the morgue without signing the discharge papers. I didn't even think to question how I had come back. I just walked through the hospital corridors, through the city streets, past people who had no idea that reality itself was far more fragile than they believed. Days passed, then weeks. My body recovered, but my mind never did. Sleep became impossible. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that mirror, the layers of light and shadow, the lives intertwined like threads. I could still feel the present just beyond perception, like something waiting in the corner of awareness. One night I tried to film myself telling the story, to document it, to prove it. But as soon as I began to speak, the lights in the room flickered. My camera froze, the screen turning white for 3 seconds exactly. When it came back on, a faint outline appeared on the footage, tall, luminous, standing right behind me. That was when I understood. It hadn't left. It couldn't. Because once you've seen the spectrum beyond death, you carry part of it with you. Life and death were never opposites. They were mirrors facing each other, reflections in an infinite loop. And I was caught between them, still breathing, but forever changed. I tried to go back to normal life, but normal doesn't exist after you've died and returned with truth carved into your soul. Every person I passed, every light that flickered, every dream I had, all of it carried a vibration I could now feel. Sometimes, late at night, I hear the sound again, the first sound, the one that created everything. It hums faintly through the air, through the walls, through me. And sometimes I see light outside my window, soft, blue, pulsing gently, as if waiting for me to remember the rest. Because I know now what happens 3 seconds after you die. You wake up, and you remember that you were never truly gone. In the quiet that followed my return, I realized the alien hadn't shown me death. It had shown me life, stripped of illusion. 3 seconds after my heart stopped, I saw what we all are beneath the mask, fragments of one vast consciousness, endlessly rediscovering itself through love, fear, and memory. And now, everywhere I look, I see it, in strangers' eyes, in storms, in silence. The same pulse that hummed through the void hums through us. Every heartbeat is the universe remembering itself. Every breath is creation continuing. We are not waiting for salvation from the sky. We are the sky learning to look back at itself through human eyes. The alien, the light, the voice, they were not visitors. They were reflections of what humanity is becoming. Awareness is evolution. And the moment we understand that consciousness connects us all, across worlds, across time, that's when we stop being passengers in the universe. We become participants in its growth. The awakening isn't coming someday. It's already happening in every act of empathy, every spark of curiosity, every time we choose wonder over fear. That is what it showed me. That is what lies beyond death. Not judgment, not heaven or hell, but the expansion of awareness itself. And maybe when the last star burns out and the final echo fades, the universe will open its eyes once more and realize that it was us all along. So if this story stayed with you, if it made you feel something stir inside, don't let that spark die. Like the video, share your thoughts below and subscribe to join others who are ready to see beyond the veil. Because the truth isn't waiting in the stars, it's waiting in you. Because somewhere beyond the edge of everything we think we know, the light is still watching, and it's waiting for us to remember.